It's this tough lineup that the Yankees have. If you look at his last 3 starts, they've not been good. 15 and a third innings. He's given up 27 hits and 16 runs. I thought something really interesting looking through box scores and other numbers. Johan Santana, before his start yesterday, had a very similar 3-game stretch. So it just goes to show you that a quality pitcher like a Santana can get out of whack for a few starts. The key is to get it back together. Santana pitched a pretty good game yesterday, even though he lost. So the key for Volstad is to get it back together, keep that 2-seamer down.
And anytime Volstad makes a start, the key is the defense behind him.
Yeah, if he gets those ground balls, the defense brought to you by Heineken with Coughlin and Ross and Brett Carroll with the start in left field, or in right field. Helms and Hanley on the left side, Ugla Cantu on the right side, and Ronnie Paulino will be handling Chris Volstad today.
Mikasuki brings you our weather. Come play our way. 95 degrees. The heat index is 104. The heat index feels like 120 on the field right now. It is a broiler here. And thank goodness this game is a 5 o'clock start and not the regular 1 o'clock start, because the Marlins would have wilted by now. Derek Jeter climbs in. Jeter, Swisher, Teixeira. Getting it back online for Volstad. No easy task with this Yankee lineup. Loaded with stars. Jeter, as is custom, little nod of the head, ready to rock and roll. And Volstad misses up and in, and location certainly is something to watch with Volstad tonight.
A lot of aggressive swings, a lot of first pitch swinging by Jeter in this series.
Chris with a good live fastball. Now Volstad has faced the Yankees, and he's done it in this stadium. It was an exhibition game, not this spring, but last spring, at the end of spring training. And he pitched well. And he buries that runner in the inside corner.
Again, talking so often about how pitchers work Jeter is to crowd him right in that area.
Jeter last night was 0 for 4 after a 2 for 4 night on Friday. Big breaker, check swing. He went. We saw a ton of check swings last night.
Yeah, he committed, and there's an example, the good curveball by Chris Volstad. So a good way to start. He made some excellent pitches to Jeter. Yeah, we talked about it, Rich, when Chris came up and finally got his starts in the big league last year, how important that exhibition game against the Yankees was to just kind of indoctrinate him into this mound and that experience and excitement.
Excitement is Nick Swisher's middle name. An excitable guy. And a dozen homers, 36 RBIs. Been a good start as a Yankee, coming off his year with Chicago and the White Sox. Lines that one foul. Swisher, who opened his career with Oakland, is 28. Yankees have signed him through 2011. Volstad misses outside. Ronnie Paulino getting the start behind the plate, working with Volstad. Swisher fouls it back and out of play. And both the Marlins and the Yankees, probably a peek at the scoreboard just to see. Joe Girardi wanting to know how those Red Sox did. The Marlins want to see how the Phillies did. The Red Sox won. They came back and beat Atlanta 6-5 in Boston. The Phillies lost. Driven into left center field. Off the wall. Ross. And it's a double.
Boy, when Swisher takes that stroke and goes the other way, he has a nice swing. His 17th double of the year. Off-speed pitch, he stays back. Didn't roll over on it and try to pull it, and banged it off that left center field scoreboard. Good swing by Swisher.
Now Now Volstad gets the teeth of the Yankee order, which has brought this crowd to life. Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez.
Well, obviously the heat hasn't affected the Yankees fans here in South Florida.
Happy to have them. Last night was a lot of fun. 46,000 here. Postseason atmosphere surrounding last night, and just looking at this ball game, this has a postseason feel because of the start time. It's almost like one of those West Coast postseason games. It starts at 5 o'clock. Shadows will be an issue come third or fourth inning. Teixeira lays off the breaking ball, and it's 2-1. They've been a very nice complement in the order. Teixeira and then Alex. With Teixeira hitting 20 homers. Changeup.
I think one of the things that Chris Volstad, I'm sure, learned in charting the game last night was the success that Josh Johnson had with his changeup. So we could see a few more changeups from Chris in this game, and that was a good one to Teixeira.
2-2. Teixeira on pace to give the Yankees what he gave both the Angels and the Braves last year. Combined with those two organizations, he had 33 homers and drove in 121 runs. He has seen Volstad when he was a Brave. It's a fly ball to the left. Coughlin, with the glasses on his hat, makes the catch.
Yeah, it's one thing. Teixeira has been consistent. 5 straight years, 30 or more home runs, 100 or more RBIs.
You can hear a rather mixed reaction to Alex Rodriguez being announced. He did pinch hit last night.
The cheers from the Yankee fans, the boos from the Marlins fans.
He walked in that 8th inning. An 8th inning in which the Marlins needed Leo Nunez and Dan Meyer out of the bullpen to get through.
I look at it this way: he gets enough boos from the Yankee fans up in New York.
Well, the real struggle, especially lately, coming off the hip surgery. Did not get off to a bad start. Boy, those pitches look pretty good. Volstad looking in, wondering where that missed.
Well, we saw him take a pitch last night. I guess those are high, but that's right at the belt. So obviously Tim Timmons is not going to call the highest strike. We'll keep our eye on that both ways. That's a pitch that years ago, you see so many hitters take that nowadays. Years ago, that was a pitch your eyes lit up and you swung at.
That was an automatic strike.
You jumped out of your shoes on a high fastball.
Missed.
You're going to have to throw it right down the middle, and so you might as well miss and put him on.
Or at least throw a good breaking ball here.
We have seen the Yankees swing 3-0 in this series, so you can't just lay a cookie in there.
That was a cookie.
That was a cookie, and he was swinging.
The reports were that Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees, got together with Yankee brass in a conference call on Friday afternoon with Alex, in which Rodriguez admitted he was fatigued, and they decided sitting him for 2 games would be best. Ground ball, Hanley's deep at short. A-Rod does not run well with the hip injury. And Chris Volstad survives that Swisher double.
disponible en español vía SAP y es presentado por KFC.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Here's the Marlins lineup. Chris Coghlan leads it off. Wes Helms gets the start at third. Hanley's in the 3 spot. Cantu right behind him. Dan Uggla, who homered last night. Ronnie Polino has eaten lefties alive this year. Cody Ross, Brett Carroll gets the start, and Chris Volstad hits ninth.
Well, we've talked a lot, and we will talk a lot as he continues to pitch about CC Sabathia, the impact he'll have on the Yankees this year. He already has 5-1 in his last 8 starts. He's gotten on a roll.
He is a big man, and he throws hard. 6'7", 290 out of Vallejo, California. The Yankees signing him to a 7-year, $161 million contract. Coming over from the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a strike. He spent 8 years in Cleveland. Coghlan stands in at 258. Chris, a couple homers. He's starting to get more starts against lefty starters now in that leadoff spot.
I think there's a couple of ways that Freddie Gonzalez looks at that. It's usually between a Chris Coghlan and a Jeremy Hermida. He's not going to have both of them in there against the left-hander. Occasionally he will. But I think he likes what Chris has done at the top of the order. In his 20 games hitting in the leadoff spot, he's hitting right around 300, drawing walks, a good on-base percentage.
Breaking ball, he was all over it. Hammers it to right. Deep. Off the wall. Coghlan, a double.
First hit of the series for Cogs, and good to see him jump all over that breaking ball from CC Sabathia. He didn't waste any time. Our checkers double of the game here in the bottom of the first. The breaking ball hangs. Coghlan's eyes light up. And there's a nice Father's Day double. And it's bittersweet for Chris Coghlan, whose father passed away a couple of years ago. But it's always something that's on his heart, and I'm sure this is a tough day for him.
Wes Helms against Sabathia. Trying to bust Helms inside. Sabathia knows that Helms, the professional hitter that he is trying to shoot a ball to the right side and move Coghlan up. And he misses in twice.
Yeah, you can see what Sabathia is trying to do.
Sabathia had an incredible stretch run last year with the Brewers, almost single-handedly putting the Brewers in the postseason. He was 11-2 in 17 starts with Milwaukee, and his last 3 starts were all on short days rest, including the last game of the season. Remember when the Marlins beat the Mets and the Brewers had to beat the Cubs? Well, that was Sabathia on that Sunday. Coghlan is running on a fastball line into center field, base hit. Coghlan will score. Marlins up 1-0.
Boy, a little chancy on Coghlan's part, but he got a good jump, and he realized, obviously, you go on your own in that situation as a runner at second base. He gets a great jump. He didn't get the look from Sabathia, and a terrific swing by Wes Helms to stay back and take it right up the middle. Look at that split screen on the move. Helms with the base hit, and Coghlan comes in to score.
And so here is Hanley now with Helms at first. Hanley last night was 2 for 3. And Sabathia misses outside. Carlos Tosca always teaching.
It's only the 3rd first inning run that CC Sabathia has allowed this year.
Hanley pops one behind first. Cano makes the catch.
Number 3, first baseman,
All right, let's see what Heineken has to say about the defense in this game for the Yankees. Melky Cabrera has been in center. He moves over to left with Brett Gardner in center, Swisher in right. A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira around the infield. And Jorge Posada behind the plate. I think if this was a normal 1 o'clock start, Posada might not catch the day game after the night game. But he's got a little more time. There's a scouting report on Sabathia. Youngest pitcher to get to 100 wins. Slider is his out pitch. He also throws a lot of strikes. He's a strike thrower, and this is the first time he's faced a fish.
That was Dave Island, the pitching coach, that just went out to talk to Sabathia. It's a rather odd time to come out. And I'm curious to know what he might have said to the big lefty. Cantu pulls one foul.
The Marlins, this is my own scouting report. The Marlins swing at a lot of pitches. They'll swing at pitches that aren't strikes. Because Sabathia throws a lot of strikes, I think that plays into the Marlins' favor. Unless he changes his approach and goes out of the strike zone a little bit.
Cantu was talking before the ballgame about facing Sabathia back a few years ago, and he said the toughest thing about Sabathia is Cantu himself has trouble identifying what's coming out of his hand. His release point is so consistent. His arm speed is the same. And as a result, Cantu's just 1 of 11 against this big lefty.
You see what he did that last pitch, really took something off his breaking ball and didn't throw it in the strike zone.
Cantu to left field off the end of the bat. Melky Cabrera is over. Makes the catch. Helms is tagging. And a good strong throw from Cabrera. So what comes ugly? I guess if you had to choose, if you're the Marlins and you could choose between a soft tossing lefty and a hard throwing lefty, I think the Marlins would choose the latter.
Yeah, they would. So that's what will be interesting, watching Sabathia, to see if he goes away from that a little bit and throws more off speed stuff.
Of course, the last time the Marlins faced a hard throwing lefty, it was John Lester in Boston, and Dan Uggla homered against Lester.
Put a dent in the monster seats.
Breaking ball misses down low. He got a low fastball last night from A.J. Burnett.
And had no trouble handling that.
(2-0).
Marlins, and Rich and I have talked about it, 16-8 against lefty starters, but 8-3 in the last 11 games against left-handed starters.
They lead the National League in wins against lefty starters. Big swing and a miss. Sabathia was a rather pedestrian 6-8 with a 3.83 ERA with Cleveland. Then, of course, they traded him to Milwaukee. And whatever it was, competitive juices, pennant race, all of a sudden he was a different guy. He reverted back to his Cy Young form of 07.
And you talk about a workhorse, over 240 innings in 07. And last year, 253 innings.
Yeah, he made 35 starts. As we said, last 3 starts were on short days rest. Completed 10 of those 35 starts. 5 of those were shutouts.
So he's listed at 6'7", 290.
He was a terrific high school athlete in Vallejo, California. Very good basketball player. His 4 teammates in the starting 5 all went on to play Division I, get scholarships. Sabathia was a first-round pick of the Indians. Camp full on Uggla. That means Helms will be on his way at first. High fastball misses, and up comes Paulino.
Those are those at-bats that we've talked about with Dan Uggla. We've seen a lot more of this year. Working the count, drawing more walks. And Dan Uggla on the season, 39 walks. And you also make a big guy work on a hot day. A couple of pretty good power forwards between Volstad and Sabathia today.
That's right. So here's Paulino. He also homered against Lester in Boston, and against lefties, man, he has hit well. Those are his overall numbers. He has hit in 11 of his last 12 starts. In his last 10 games, a 382 average. Oh, 2 coming. And a strike 3 called inside corner. CC rings up Paulino. But a double by Coughlin gets things started. And then Helms. Whether you're a Marlin fan or a Yankee fan, 1-0. The Marlins on top of the Yankees. Baseball basics. This would be the rubber match. Mr. Hutton, please explain.
Well, we've talked about that. The third game of a 2-game series. Each team's won a game. You try to see who wins the third game, which is the rubber match.
Volstad opens the second with a strike. Robinson Cano, Jorge Posada, and Melky Cabrera for the Yankees. Jam shot. Hanley's there. The best value at this ballpark is a CBS 4 for $54 pack on Friday nights. With the 4 for $54, you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 2 Marlin game programs, and it starts at just $54. Grab one today, either at the Stadium box office or the Marlins in Miami store. Yeah, it's hot. I think just in watching Tim Timmons, the low strike he's calling, and Posada's arguing right now, but he's been consistent from the first pitch on that pitch.
Yeah, remember that borderline high strike that was a ball to A-Rod. He's been steady with the pitch down lower.
One ball, one strike.
Now, I mentioned Posada at 37. Had this been a 1 o'clock game, I'm not sure he would have started day game after a night game.
Line shot, yes! Brett Carroll on to get it.
Well, you know when Brett Carroll starts, you know you're going to get that quality upgraded defense. Sinking line drive. That ball was stung by Posada, and BC stayed with it.
You're right. That's like going to the dealership and they offer you the upgraded defensive package.
Yeah.
It comes with Brett Carroll.
It comes with Brett Carroll. Get the satellite radio, the extra leather, the upgraded rims,
and Brett Carroll. Melky Cabrera. Cabrera's been in center field the first 2 games and is 1 for 6. He had something in his eye and actually turned away from that pitch. Two and 0. Outside corner, of course, all the players wearing the Prostate Cancer Foundation patch, blue armbands, even the umpires decked out. There's the patch, the bands. Counts full. Breaking ball, ground ball. Ugla gobbles it up. And Volstad works a 1-2-3 second. Good start so far for Chris. Yankees. It's the bottom of the second. Now, Tommy's tips. Normally we diagram a hit and run. This really isn't a garden variety hit and run, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked. The hit and run, usually the man's at first base. He takes off. The hitter has to protect him and put the ball in play. This is a little different scenario with Coghlan just running. It worked out perfectly with Helms getting the base hit. I always tell young players there are 3 things to do if you're the hitter on the hit and run. Number 1, make contact so you protect the runner. Number 2, if you so happen to hit a ball on the ground, that's even better. And number 3, if you get a base hit, outstanding. More concern for the Yankees. Remember, Dave Island went out last inning. Now Girardi and Gene Monahan, their longtime trainer, go out there to talk to him now.
Obviously, as much money as they have invested in this guy, 7 years, $161 million. You want to make sure that the ace of your staff is okay.
Well, there's no question that heat is going to be a concern for anybody today, especially the 2 starting pitchers.
And I would think more so for the Yankees because they don't play in it as much as the Marlins do.
Well, the Northeast has had a lot of cool, rainy weather all season so far.
And think about it, when the Yankees do come to Florida, they're in air conditioning over in St. Pete. Cody Ross takes outside. It's 1-0. Ross with Brett Carroll and Chris Bolstad right behind him. Cody up to 11 homers. He homered in the first game of this series. Drives that ball to center. Gardner. Lots of speed out there in center field. That youngster.
Number 25.
1 out. The biggest stars go head-to-head in one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 14th from St. Louis on Fox. Another big crowd here in Miami. And Brett Carroll faces CC Sabathia. Carroll's story this year, always known for his defense. He is one of the better defensive outfielders in the National League. But he's starting to hit now that he's getting a little more regular playing time. So he's drawn some assignments against lefties and has responded.
Yeah, I think we've seen him take some pitches, work counts and at bats. We've seen him hit some balls the other way with authority. So that's always good to see, and that just comes with a little more playing time.
Of course, his first home run of his big league career against a lefty, Randy Johnson. And he fouls that pitch into the glove just in case Alfredo Aceves is in the bullpen.
There's something going on with Sabathia. Obviously not a knee and arm related. But I would have to say something to do with the dehydration, with the heat. Maybe a flu bug. I saw where Ryan Howard of the Phillies in the hospital with a real bad flu and flu symptoms.
Here's a 3-1. Carroll ropes it into the corner. Round first, BC with a double.
CC Sabathia has gotten some pitches up. The double that Coghlan hit was a hanging breaking ball. This is a fastball up in the zone that Brett Carroll just jumps on, and there's a high fastball, and I think that's going to be all for Sabathia. Boy, that's just a solid swing by Brett Carroll. And the more you think about it, and I'm sure we'll get the entire story, but with Ryan Howard, flu symptoms, hot day, if that's the case with Sabathia, that's going to really tear him down.
I'll be honest with you, I was in the Yankee clubhouse and actually talked to Sabathia just to say hello. My sister lives about 8 houses from him in Vallejo, California, and just to say hello. I knew him from the American League, and he seemed fine at that point. He was walking around the clubhouse, looked okay.
No, he's gone. He's out of the game right now.
And so Sabathia leaves. Aceves probably will be given as many pitches as he needs to warm up. If it indeed is an injury, those are the rules. If not, he gets 8 warm-up tosses and away he goes.
Hey, the one note on Ryan Howard, though, he came out of the hospital and hit a pinch hit 3-run homer last night. Home run number 20 on the year for him. 28 pitches for Sabathia and just 2 of 8 first pitch strikes.
So Aceves comes out of the Yankee bullpen. The runner at second and 1 out. And he will take his time in warming up. We'll step aside. Marlins up. Sabathia exits.
I'm actually fortunate. I have kind of 2 fathers, stepfather and a father. So, you know, to be on the baseball field during Father's Day, and when I actually got called up, was my first game was on Father's Day. So it's always a memorable one, and you know, I wish all the fathers out there, especially my fathers, happy Father's Day.
So on Father's Day, the Marlins have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second, and CC Sabathia is out of the ball game. As soon as we get word as to his condition, we will pass it along. That's got to be a thrill. BC and Derek Jeter passing the time.
Chatting up Derek Jeter. How about that? Doesn't get any better. Well, Alfredo Aceves out of Mexico. The Yankees signed him last year, just before spring training. He got a little bit of time with them. Last time he pitched was 3 days ago. So he's going to get lots of time working out of that bullpen. Pretty good fastball and curveball, the changeup. He spent a lot of time in the Mexican League pitching for Yucatan.
Now his dad was a power-hitting first baseman for many years in the Mexican League. So the Yankees obviously have to be a bit concerned with the Sabathia injury. As we've noted throughout this series, Sabathia part of that big offseason haul. The infield is expensive. $423 million spread between Teixeira, A.J. Burnett, and CC Sabathia. A.J. Burnett was outstanding last night for Joe Girardi. And we had a chance to see A.J. before the ball game, and he had nothing but great things to say about Josh Johnson. Remember, it was Johnson, as we noted last night, that took A.J.'s spot in the rotation for that last start of 05.
I tell you what, not only did A.J. have some nice things to say about Josh Johnson, so did most of those following the Yankees that we get a chance to talk to.
All right, so this is a little bit different now for the Marlins lineup and Freddie Gonzalez. They were stacked with righties to face Sabathia. And Aceves comes in out of the bullpen. Volstad takes outside with Carroll at second and 1 out.
Yeah, Freddie Gonzalez loaded with left-handers on his bench with Hermida and Baker and Glow and De Aza.
Aceves. And he has trouble throwing strikes to the pitcher, Chris Volstad.
Yeah, to the 6'8" Chris Volstad with Chris Coghlan on deck.
At the knees.
Volstad with a couple of hits this year. Would love to add to that.
Three and two. Well, pretty good chance he's going to get a fastball here. Aceves missed his first 3 pitches and came back with 2 strikes. And he did get a fastball and fouls it back. 3-2. High pop to Sheriff. Makes the catch. It is Father's Day, and this culminates the Home Run Challenge. So far, $1.8 million has been raised. And with every home run hit in this ball game, $18,000 will be donated. You can join us, 800-798-CURE, or visit pcf.org. Chris Coghlan stands in. Last night, an interesting matchup when Coghlan was facing A.J. Burnett. Of course, Burnett was a Marlin for many years and then left, signed with Toronto as a free agent. Many people say, how could you let a guy like that go and not get anything in return? Well, guess what? You're looking at the return. The Marlins got a compensation pick from the Blue Jays, and they used it to draft Chris Coghlan.
Marlins will have to scramble. There's a good changeup. And with the scouting report on Aceves, having planned and looked at a lot of video on CC Sabathia, now they have to go back and check out tape on Aceves. Fastball, good curveball, and the changeup, the last pitch, good changeup to Coghlan.
Coghlan gets another changeup and hits it to deep center. Gardner back, tracking it, makes the catch. May have forgotten how many outs there were. That's the third, and that's where we're headed. All-Stars among us. The winner from each Major League city will be honored before the All-Star game in St. Louis, as seen on Fox. Chris Volstad into the third. Brett Gardner, Aceves, and then Jeter.
I think it's really important to keep a guy like Gardner off the bases because he will run. He has 15 stolen bases, and we've seen other teams take advantage of not only Chris Volstad but the Marlins as a whole in stealing bases.
Gardner, a chopper that Uggla runs up, gets a difficult hop.
Boy, that's nice.
Kind of a shot put throw to first.
And if you lay back on that ball, you can lay back on that ball if the guy who hit it doesn't have any speed. But Gardner has speed, so you got to come in on it. He doesn't get the good hop, but he stays with it and makes the play. One thing, the Yankees lose a little bit of offense with Sabathia coming out of the game. We talked about his hitting prowess. 261 career average with 3 home runs. But Sabathia is out of the game, so it's Aceves.
We told you his dad was a great hitter in the Mexican League. But
I'm guessing he swings the bat pretty well, though.
Yeah. His first Major League plate appearance. He's the Yankees version of Burt Badenhop. In case of emergency, break glass and go for Aceves. He goes for the breaking ball. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Florida Marlins. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. Derek Jeter now. Could not check his swing on a breaking ball in the dirt back in the first.
And that is a pitch that Chris Volstad has thrown well today.
I love Jeter's routine before the pitch. He'll put his arm up and ask for time, settle his feet, and then he'll kind of look out and give the pitcher a quick little nod like, okay.
I'll be honest with you, to me, and I know he probably doesn't even know he does that. To me, it's somewhat annoying because he's not the umpire. It's the guy behind the plate, Tim Timmons, who's to say, you're ready to throw. Not the batter.
And he does it. I think that the head nod.
Yeah, see, it's just part of, I guarantee he doesn't even know he does that.
But the nod of the head is only in the first pitch of the at-bat. That low strike has been called all night long.
Now, what Jeter's questioning is the first pitch was right about there, and I thought was a strike. And it was not called a strike. And now this one, which I thought was maybe a little lower, is a called strike. That's what Jeter's questioning, and rightfully so.
You have to admire the career of Derek Jeter and the way he plays the game. He has,
and the way he's represented the game.
Absolutely. 15 years as a Yankee. Always hustle, plays clean, plays hard. Uggla, bare hands, and Jeter will beat it out. Running on a sore ankle, Jeter picks up a base hit.
Once it got over the head of the 6'8" Chris Volstad, you knew it was going to be a tough play. Do or die play, an infield single, sore ankle or not, be alive. Jeter 13 out of 14 in steals, and he knows that Volstad's slow to the plate.
Yeah, if this were a 1 o'clock game, we might not see Derek Jeter in there as well tonight. Swisher doubled in the first. A wild pitch.
Made it easy on Jeter to get to second base. This pitch just totally gets away from Volstad. Paulino couldn't get to it. Looked like it may have caught a little bit of Tim Timmons, home plate umpire.
Two outs. Swisher doubled off the wall and left in the first. Yankees stranded that runner. Jeter only the second base runner that Volstad has allowed. Marlins got their run on a Wes Helms RBI single.
Again, one of those little jams you just don't want to let get away from you, and it's something early on we saw Chris Volstad handle very well. Not letting an inning get out of hand. Now, there's that same low pitch that was not a strike, so all of a sudden Timmons is showing inconsistency.
Number 25, first baseman, Teixeira.
So it's Teixeira now. He flied to left back in the first. An RBI machine in his career. In his 5 years in Texas.
And you think about it, Rich, with the lineups, and Teixeira is 29 years old. You think about the lineups that he's going to be in for the next 7 to 10 years. He's going to continue to be a big-time run producer.
Jeter's running, and he steals it.
He's going to take advantage if you don't look, and if you're a little slow to the plate. Jeter's going to take off. Good pitch. He gets the strike, but no play for Paulino. And at first base, Swisher didn't pick up on it, and he didn't take off. He's still at first.
Well, you know what this does? It forces the Marlins to bring Cantu over to the bag and hold the runner, which opens up the right side for Teixeira. With runners first and second, Cantu was playing behind the runner. Chopper, and that's a fair ball. And maybe Cantu might have had it had Jeter not stolen the bag. Great throw, but the ball is loose at second, and Teixeira's in there.
Yeah, with Cantu behind the runner, he has a good chance of making that play. But all of a sudden, look where he is, and here's the chopper over his head. It's fair, and all of a sudden the Yankees now making something out of this inning that started with 2 outs in the infield, base hit by Jeter. Strong throw by Carroll, but I don't think the ball ever got to Hanley with the runner going into him, Teixeira.
So it goes as an RBI double. And I'm sure when he stole the bag, many people's reaction was, you know, why steal third in that situation? But Jeter had a great jump. He stole the base easily.
Some will say he was even thinking about that. I doubt it. I think he went because nobody looked at him and he got a great jump. It turned out that that was the case.
So Volstad is going to have to buckle down and get A-Rod for the second time tonight with runners second and third.
Alex Rodriguez 0 for his last 16. The last time he had an 0 for 16 was in 2004, early in the season in April.
Line drive, base hit. A-Rod muscles it in the left, and the Yankees pick up 2 more.
Pretty good pitch by Chris Volstad. He ties him up and jams him. A-Rod did not hit this ball hard, but he hit it well. You have to have strength to do that, and he picks up 2 big runs and breaks that 0 for 16.
I think you also have to have a surgically repaired hip to do that. That was one of the pitches that really gave him problems before they decided to do that surgery.
Yeah, this is an area, and remember, we used to talk about it a lot with Chris Volstad, that he would be able to minimize the damage in an inning. And it's something, and obviously it's a tough lineup. There's no question about that. But it's something he hasn't been able to do lately.
Burke Badenhop's going to get up and start throwing here, as Robinson Cano sports one foul. There's the hopper. This all started with 2 outs on the little chopper that Jeter hit. Ugly tried to barehand, did not make the play. It was an infield single. A wild pitch, a walk. The stolen base by Jeter, which brought Cantu to the bag to hold the runner, and then a chopper over Cantu's head. The 2-run single by A-Rod.
Really not a line drive, hard hit ball amongst the bunch. But sometimes it isn't how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it.
Two and 1 to Cano. The pitch count for Volstad has risen to 53. Two and 2.
Yeah, a lot of pitches in this inning. And I think even takes its toll more on a day like this, an early evening like this, with the temperatures in the 90s.
A-Rod's running on a 2-2 pitch, which is hit in the air to left center. Coghlan makes the catch, inning over, but the Yankees strike, and they do it with 2 outs. First Jeter, then Tex, then A-Rod. Last night, one of the big plays was the misplay on this Cantu line drive by Johnny Damon. Damon just flat out missed it. Hanley Ramirez would score the second run of the night. Marlins would win it 2-1. Wes Helms with Hanley Ramirez and Jorge Cantu. Fastball from Aceves.
Now we'll see how the Marlins make that adjustment now to the right hander.
Check swing and a ball in the dirt. No swing, says first base umpire Mark Wegner. It was Helms that banged one into center after Chris Coughlin had doubled, and Coughlin was actually on the move when Helms lined it.
And Rich, there was something up with Sabathia even in that first inning. Remember, Dave Island, the pitching coach, went out there in the first.
We have Frank Fort on that story. So as soon as there is word from the Yankee clubhouse, we're confident that Frank will have it for us. Aceves misses down low. Hanley and Cantu to follow in the third. Yankees on top, 3-1. Helms goes after the fastball and strikes out. Is your group looking for a special event? Save money, provide them with an unforgettable experience at a Marlins game. Call the group sales department at 305-626-SAVE and ask about upcoming special events, including Ladies Night Out, Scout Night, CPA Night, all-you-can-eat seats. Just think if the Scouts got loose in the all-you-can-eat seats.
They'd have to expense it, though.
That's why we would have the CPAs there at the same time. An 0-for-1 night for Hanley. He popped out back in the first. Marlins and Orioles on Tuesday night. Boy, that's a strike. Freddie Gonzalez on the top step.
I tell you, a little inconsistency from Tim Timmy. He started out okay. I think the heat may be getting to him, too.
That's another strike. This is the pitch in question. Yikes.
Aye.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball is fouled back. The Orioles are here on Tuesday night, and Baltimore is playing well. They just went into Philadelphia and swept the Phillies 2-1. They beat Philadelphia this afternoon. Guthrie beating Hamels.
Philly going to 13-22 at home.
Philly's only run came on a Greg Dobbs home run. George Sherrill's 15th save. Checks his swing. It counts 2-2. Andrew Miller gets the start on Tuesday night. Koji Uehara will go for the Orioles. Jason Burke and Ricky Nolasco matchup on Wednesday. Rich Hill, Sean West on Thursday. That pitch is down low, and it's 3-2.
So Rich Hill, the one lefty, the Marlins will see in that series.
The Orioles will see two lefties in Andrew Miller and Sean West. Just taking a peek at New Orleans, Rick Vandenherk is pitching well.
A couple of guys have caught fire down there. Rick Vandenherk has pitched well, and Cameron Maben, at last check, raised his average to over 330.
Gabby Sanchez had a couple of hits. Frank, you've been down there, haven't you?
This week, Rich, I spent 2 days in New Orleans and 2 days in Jacksonville for an Inside the Marlins show on the new affiliates. Rick Vandenherk started the Monday night game. He had a one-hitter through 6, left after 6 2/3 with a 3-hitter, and he actually pitched last night and pitched 6 scoreless. So he's had 5 straight starts since coming off the DL, and they've all been very good.
And Frank, how about Sanchez and Maben?
Gabby Sanchez is playing third base. He's hitting the ball well. He's, I think, getting his feet back under him at third base. Cameron Maben's really started to come on. He had a 3-hit game last night, also walked 3 times in an extra inning game, so his average is up right about 290 right now, playing very good defense. And so both those guys are progressing pretty well at AAA. And at AA, Logan Morrison is back in the lineup and playing. And he's, of course, he missed about 6 weeks with that thumb injury, a broken thumb, and he is just now getting back into the lineup. And he's swinging the bat pretty good, but he doesn't have a lot of at-bats on the season. So at least that's good news that he's back in there.
Cantu's up right now. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. Alfredo Aceves has been outstanding. He's been better than CC Sabathia.
And Rich, we have yet to hear any word on what happened to CC, so we're still going to work on that.
Good off speed. He's shown a good curveball and changeup. Has kept the Marlins off balance. It's certainly a different look than they were getting from CC Sabathia. Yeah, Aceves has retired 4 straight.
It's an interesting spot to be in as a manager when you stack your lineup for one pitcher and he leaves after an inning. You can't bring in all the guys you would have against a righty because you'd really shortchange yourself for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you know that you're going to need those lefties at the very end of the game for Mariano Rivera. But you're right, you don't want to unload everybody now. If that were the case, who knows, Girardi could go to his bullpen and bring in lefties.
Cantu laces it into left field. That's a base hit. That'll bring Uggla up. By the way, last night I thought very subtly Freddie Gonzalez did a masterful job of managing that game. There were some moves he could have made that he didn't. He kept Red Sherrill out defensively until he really needed him, and that paid off on the Teixeira base hit. He did a nice job with his bullpen, the combination of Nunez and Meyer. Uggla digs in.
I was just thinking with Jorge Cantu having a good swing there, there's a possibility he has seen Aceves in winter ball down in Mexico.
Firestone leaderboard. Second baseman home run leaders. By the way, you were talking about the lefty bats and saving them for Rivera. Really only one guy that the Marlins have that has extensive experience against Rivera, and that's Ross Glode. He's 2 for 5 against him, so file that away. There's a look at Ross Glode. We've just been handed the notes that CC Sabathia left with tightness in his left bicep. So that's the of the 6 Cy Young Award winners the Marlins have faced, that's the second one to leave early in the game.
Yeah, Halladay had to come out of the game with the tightness in that groin, the right groin.
Hugler was hoping for fastball and got changeup. Slow tapper, Aceves has it. And the Marlins are done here in the third. 3 innings have passed. Yankees up. We open things with Frank Fort. Frank?
All right, thanks very much, guys. I'm with Brooke Heaton, her husband Troy. Brooke is Matt Lindstrom's sister, and you guys are down from, you live in Virginia, right? You came down, you saw Matt save the game last night. How exciting was that?
It got my heart racing, but he did an awesome job. It was fun to see him beat the Yankees. It was cool.
Now, it is Father's Day, and your father, Ray, back in Idaho, and Matt did something pretty special for him this Father's Day. What did he do?
My dad had a car in college. It was a 67 Cougar, I believe it was, and Matt redid it, put a new engine in it, and gave it to him for Father's Day. It's awesome.
And he got it actually yesterday, is that right?
He got it yesterday. I called him today, and he's like, I'm just driving around town. He loves it. It's cool.
What a great Father's Day present. You want to give a shout-out to Dad on Father's Day?
I would love to. Happy Father's Day, Dad. We love you very much.
All right, thanks very much, Brooke and Troy. Good to have you down here with us. Guys, back to you.
That's a great Father's Day story.
That's a great gift. That's a great gift. Hope he's enjoying it. Well, he's not driving around now.
Very thoughtful. Melky Cabrera, let's see if Chris Volstagg can settle down. He got 2 outs in the third, and then the Yankees erupted for 3 runs. He's out front 1-2.
Yeah, I think important for Chris to come back here in this inning so he can take the game a little bit deeper. And if he has a good inning here, that's possible.
Went after a high breaking ball.
Still not as much command of that curveball. The one before missed. That one was a hanger. And that's a pitch that he really needs.
The Marlins open play in third place, 4 back of the Phillies, and the Phillies have lost, so the Fish are 3.5 back. Paulino took that one right in the mask. The Yankees open play 3 out behind Boston. Boston beat Atlanta 6-5, getting a run in the bottom of the 9th, and so the Yankees are 3.5 back in the East. Toronto won today. Helms, they beat Washington 9-4.
I believe, you may want to check, because I thought I heard that run for the Red Sox in the 9th inning was a Nick Green home run.
His 4th.
Yeah, he had a big series against the Marlins and has done a terrific job for Terry Francona at shortstop.
Maybe they don't need to trade for a shortstop. Hanley calling and catching. That music means only one thing, and that is the duck. Yankees all-time leader in base hits.
Well, let's see. We've told you that Derek Jeter has 2,617. Is that enough?
Gardner takes inside. Well, there obviously are so many great names in Yankee history. That's more than Mattingly.
You got to think about Gehrig
and Ruth. Jolton Joe.
Jolton Joe's career wasn't as long as the other two.
How about Mantle?
Yes, Mantle throw in the equation too.
Pretty good pitch. Volstad started towards the dugout. That might have been out. Chopper, he can run. Hanley got to hurry. Out of the College of Charleston, Brett Gardner, and he won't be anchored at first base long.
Yeah, even with the pitcher up there, that's a tough play. Hanley got that in between hop, couldn't get much on the throw, and you talked about the speed of Gardner. No chance to get him. He flies up the line. Highest drafted player ever out of the College of Charleston.
Well, what kind of confidence do they have in Gardner as a base stealer because the pitcher's up?
Well, you got two things to think about, because I think he's going to go, because then who knows, the pitcher could put the bat on the ball. Even if he doesn't, or if he were to get thrown out, Joe Girardi might pinch hit next inning, if he gets another inning out of Estevez.
One and 0. Tony Pena, the bench coach. Pena had a nice run in Kansas City. He was the American League Manager of the Year in 2003. 4 years in Kansas City. And a 5-time All-Star. Not many players can say that.
When this day started, the last thing Estevez was thinking about was getting 2 ABs in the game.
Two and 1 in that Atlanta-Boston game. Bobby Cox was ejected by our good buddy Bill Hahn. Boy, he hit that ball well. Hanley has it. Flips on over to Ugla. In time, 145th ejection in Major League League. for Cox. One 877 Marooney by Checkers. Little place, big taste. By Corona, official sponsor of the timeout, and by Honda South Florida. Visit your South Florida Honda dealers online at sfhondadealers.com to find a deal on fuel-efficient Hondas. Not a bad place to be in the water on a day like this.
Yeah, the Marlins, with the injury and with Sabathia having to leave the game, they've gotten crossed up. I mean, they were ready for the strike-throwing left-hander who throws hard and had some good swings off of him early. And all of a sudden, they've had trouble making the adjustment to a right-hander who has a little fastball, but also a couple good breaking balls, a curveball and a changeup. And Paulino, instead of his .317 average against lefties, he comes in .237 against righties.
Caveman drives it to left center field. Cabrera, leaping catch.
Well, remember the first two games of this series, Melky Cabrera played center. Oh, look at that. In the heel of his glove, he's able to hang on. That's a terrific play. Aceves likes it. So you basically put a center fielder over in left fielder and have a guy with more speed in center with Brett Gardner. So flashing the leather is what Melky Cabrera just did.
Cody Ross lined out in the second. Big breaking ball, 1-1, and Aceves not afraid to throw that at any time. I would expect, having pitched in the Mexican leagues, this weather is nothing new to him.
Yeah, he just sneaks that fastball in. It's not bad, 90 miles an hour. But the breaking ball is slower, and then the changeup.
Curveball, strike three calls. Who needs a Cy Young Award winner when you've got Alfredo Aceves?
Who are you going with on this one, Rich? You like Mantle, don't you?
I'll go Ruth.
I'll go Ruth. I'll go Gary.
Good call.
Well, you have the feeling that Jeter will surpass that number and be the all-time hits leader in Yankee history.
Ruth is top in batting average. Gehrig is second. Jeter is fifth.
You have guys like Gehrig and Ruth walk so many times. The Yankees, in their tremendous history, without a 3,000 hit guy.
Carroll smokes it out towards Cano, and he makes the catch. So Seves, a 1-2-3-4. Our Spanish broadcasters join us now. Raul and Cookie. Hi, guys.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Happy Father's Day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
And happy Father's Day to Frank, too.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think so far, Cookie? CC Sabathia was supposed to be the guy, but it's been Seves that's been outstanding.
Well, and you know, we thought at the time that they took CC Sabathia, we had a pretty good chance of beating him, but Seves has done a great job in the mound so far.
Wow.
Hanley Ramirez throws out Derek Jeter.
Linda jugada. Del 6-3.
6-3 en el libro.
A little extra time, but then a little extra giddy up on the throw.
Yes, sir.
Excelente jugada.
All right, guys, have a good show.
All right, you too, fellas.
Swisher doubled and walked, and he was part of that messy third. After Volstead had 2 outs, the Yankees 3 hits, a walk, and 3 runs. Brett Tomko, the well-traveled right-hander.
Saw him briefly the other night, and Marlins have seen him over the years. I think if you were to break down this start of Chris's today, it'd be the inconsistency in his other 2 pitches, the curveball and the changeup.
It's certainly a staple for Volstead, who doesn't have the overpowering fastball.
But on the other hand, you think about it, in that 3rd inning, the infield hit, the double that was a chopper over the head of Cantu, and Alex Rodriguez's hit was a jam shot. Chris got in on him really good.
That pitch, you know, if we could see that pitch again, that's a pitch that, you know, Swisher dives out of the way, and that didn't miss by much. In fact, Paulino almost reacted like he thought that was a strike. There's a bouncer to Hanley. Throw over to first. Here's a look at it, and we see it in the National League with guys like Chase Utley.
Yeah, the Phillies have a lot of guys crowd the plate.
Watch Paulino.
That ball actually was probably high, but on the plate, and he's backing out of there like he just got buzzed. And that's what this team does. They're very similar in their approach to the Philadelphia Phillies.
Teixeira. Line drive, Hanley's there, makes the catch. Quick inning for Bolstad. He needed that. 3-1 Yankees. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. 3-1, Yankees on top, bottom of the fifth on a kid Sunday, Father's Day. There was a CC Sabathia start. He gave way to Alfredo Aceves. And Aceves, after going 3 innings, actually 2 2/3 to be accurate, gives way to Brett Tomko.
Yeah, 43 pitches for Aceves. Gave up just 1 hit, a couple of strikeouts. Friday night, Tomko came in and pitched the 9th inning, and as we pointed out, a well-traveled guy, one-time starter, so he pretty much throws all 4 pitches.
And he throws 3 pitches and strikes out Bolstad. July 4th is a Super Saturday. The postgame concert is KC and the Sunshine Band. Special 4th of July fireworks spectacular, all presented by Geico. The Marlins will take on the Pirates. Fans also get a Marlins patriotic baseball cap courtesy of Napa Auto Parts. KC and the Sunshine Band.
Get down tonight.
Coughlin is doubled and flied out.
And hit that ball well. It's fly ball to deep center field.
Just about everything in baseball is a final.
Got the one night game tonight. The Dodgers against the Angels. Had an interesting matchup last night. It was Jeff Weaver against Jared Weaver. in that Dodger-Angels game. And older brother came out on top. Jeff did.
Weren't they the folk trio from A Mighty Wind? The Weavers?
The Weavers, there's a great movie, by the way. I'm not sure.
That's up, and it's 3-1 to Conley.
Yeah, you get the feel in this game that the Yankees have a bigger lead than they do, and they don't. It's just a two-run game, so as soon as the Marlins can get a man on base, they'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Coughlin bangs it into center field. Second hit.
Boy, he's hit the ball square all 3 times.
Hyundai Road ahead. Day off tomorrow. Tuesday night, please join us for our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction, brought to you by Tommy Bahama. Wednesday and Thursday against the Orioles, and then over to St. Pete's with the Rays on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 6:30 start on Tuesday night. Helms takes a breaking ball and pulls it foul.
Brett Tomko was one of those guys over the years. It didn't matter who he was with. He always hated to see him. He had 11 career starts against the Fish, 8-2 with a 3.12 ERA, and 5-1 in this ballpark. So he always pitched well against the Marlins, especially as a starter.
Coughlin was running back in the first from second when Helms singled and drove him home. Tomko quick to the plate. 0-2.
Yeah, that was a borderline quick pitch. A la Kevin Gregg. We used to see Kevin Gregg do that.
Who was pitching better for the Cubs. Boy, Helms has punched out twice now.
Yeah, good slider. Gets West chasing.
Cubs beat Cleveland today 6-2.
Cubs are on a little bit of a roll right now.
And Gregg picked up his 11th save.
Going into today, they'd had 3 straight walk-off wins. And the Tribe continues to go in the other direction.
You'd have to say that Cleveland is the biggest disappointment in baseball this year. That's 6 in a row they've lost. And they're now 13 games under 500.
Boy, 29-42.
Hanley drives it left field. Hits it pretty well. It is deep. It is gone.
It's tied. Get that one runner on. A long ball can tie it. And Hanley Ramirez just did.
Hanley's 9th of the season, and that raises $18,000 for the home run challenge. Prostate cancer research. I would expect that many of those starts in this ballpark for Brett Tomko, Hanley Ramirez was not a Marlin.
Well, one guy who has had success is on deck against Tomko. Get Dan Uggla up there, 4 for 7 with a home run against Tomko.
And 2. Gardner's back and makes the catch. But the Marlins strike back with a long ball from Hanley.
Dinger, long ball. Tater, a jack, a 4-bagger. Hanley supplied that, a 2-run jack.
Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, Jorge Posada. The reaction for Rodriguez tonight has been mixed. Some hearty boos and some applause as well. Another big house here tonight, and another big group of Yankee fans. That's a strike.
And as this inning has started, even before anybody's gotten on base, Reynel Pinto has begun loosening up in the bullpen.
6th inning. A-Rod dumped a single to left to drive in 2 in the 3rd and bounced out his first at bat.
I'm telling you, this is why Yankee Red Sox games last 4.5 hours.
That's a strike. I don't care who he is, but his strike zone has been dramatically different.
Absolutely.
In the last 2 ball games.
I'd love to ask Reggie Jackson, who's 1 home run ahead of A-Rod. Reggie with 563, A-Rod with 562, if the strike zone was like that for him. And it would be a fun comment. That one has to be a strike. Nice pitch by Chris Volstad, maybe the best curveball he's thrown today.
Number 24, second baseman Robinson Cano.
He actually thought about going to first base too, didn't he?
Robinson Cano. Right to another good one. All of a sudden, the curveball has come back to Chris Volstad. It has been in and out throughout this start. but it's a good time to return, especially after Hanley hits a 2-run homer to tie the game. Two and one.
Yeah, the changeup, another nice one. There's the changeup, and he had Cano fooled. Cano's gotten off to a lot better start than he did last year, hitting about 220 at this time last year.
307 right now.
Yeah, not as many home runs, not as many RBIs. So he's having a much stronger season this year and playing a good second base.
You wonder a bit about the Yankees' numbers individually with home runs. Swisher with a dozen. Cano has 12. Posada's got 9. Cabrera with 7. What influence Yankee Stadium has had on their production. Boy, the big hammer is back for Volstead. He strikes out A-Rod. He strikes out Cano. We check in with Frank.
All right, thanks very much, guys, and a happy Father's Day to Dave Baker, father of John Baker. Dave in from California, where he's a partner in an accounting firm. What's your best memory as a dad of John playing baseball as a kid?
Oh, as a kid, he got to play in the Oakland Coliseum when he was in high school when his team won the NCS or runner-up in NCS. He got to play there. That was always fun. I just, watching him all the way through, it's been fun. I can't think of any one thing that jumps out. Maybe playing for Cal. That was big.
Now, you were a professional baseball player in the Philly organization, did not make it to the majors. What's it like to see your son play in Major League Baseball as a father?
Well, it's really fun. I mean, we kind of changed our tune from hoping someday you get to play to now just hoping you can have a career at it. It's really fun. He's a good guy, and these guys, I met a lot of the guys today, and a lot of nice guys on the Marlins, too.
All right, Dave, thanks for the visit. Inning is over. We're tied at 3. We'll be right back on a Father's Day here.
I believe he taught me how to play baseball the right way. One of the things I'll never forget that he used to always tell me was, it meant a lot to me. I mean, obviously as a family member, as a father, but a lot with the game of baseball. I believe he taught me how to play baseball the right way. One of the things I'll never forget that he used to always tell me was it takes no talent to hustle. And he never yelled at anybody or me for striking out or making a bad play. But I definitely got an earful if I didn't run hard.
We're back on a Father's Day. You just heard John Baker talking about his dad, Dave. Dave, is that true? The only time you got on him was when he didn't hustle?
Absolutely. I was telling people my mantra when the kids were playing was it doesn't take any talent to hustle. You you can control your hustle. You can't control the result of hitting a ball or anything. So as long as you keep hustling, I have no problem with the way you play, and I think he's taken it to that. He's taken it to heart. He's a hustler.
Did you have to reinforce that often or not so often?
Probably with him more than some of the other kids because they live with me. But they got it. I just telling you that one of my 27-year-old kids who was 11 when he was on our team sent me a Facebook message that said, "Hey, Mr. Baker, happy Father's Day. It doesn't take any talent to hustle." So it got through, and that's the fun part about coaching these kids. You never lose track of them, and they remember stuff like that.
Okay, thanks for the visit, and happy Father's Day.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dave Baker, back up to you guys, Rich and Tommy.
Good stuff.
And a great fan. We always enjoy visiting with Mr. Baker.
Let's talk to him when he's around. He was around the batting cage today.
Ronnie Paulino now. The Marlins into their second inning of the Brett Tomko era in this game. This was a CC Sabathia start, an inning and a third. He left with soreness in his left bicep. Alfredo Aceves went 2 2/3, and he delivered it to Tomko, who was then touched up by Hanley Ramirez for a 2-run homer to tie this game. Phil Koch in the bullpen.
And believe it or not, 3 runs today by the Marlins, the most they've scored in 5 games in a game. Coming into this game, just 8 runs in their last 5 games.
Paulino hit that line drive in the gap in left center where Cabrera from left field made a fine running catch. 2-2 to the guy they call the caveman.
Well, the Marlins have, in our conversation, Franks, with John Baker's dad, between Baker and Paulino, have a nice thing going and a nice combo in their 2 catchers as far as production.
Down goes Paulino. 2 outs here in the 6th. Coors Light freeze cam time. When are we going to freeze? Tonight? Oh yeah, Hanley against Tomko. Freeze it. Any way you look at it, a 2-run homer. Hanley's 9th. One to 0 to Cody Ross. Cody Ross, left field and deep. Get out of here! 4-3.
Let's hear that Cody chant. I love it. Boy, he launched that pitch.
And on Father's Day, every home run worth $18,000 towards prostate cancer research. Brett Carroll.
Looked like he got a pitch out over the plate, was able to launch it with that terrific home run swing that he possesses. And for Cody Ross, number 12 on the year.
No swing on the check swing. And it's 2-1 to Brett Carroll. Carroll has doubled and hit an absolute seed at Robinson Cano at second base. So he's had 2 good at-bats. Tomko evens the count at 2-2.
And Brett Carroll came into the game with his average at 289 with his base hit, a 1 for 2. Gets it up to 298, so just continues to look much more relaxed with the playing time.
Well, you go back and look at Carroll and his numbers coming up in the Marlins system. He had one outstanding year in Albuquerque in AAA. Hit .314. Curveball misses inside. I know that's a good hitter's ballpark. But in 2007, in 88 games, he hit .314, 19 homers, 70 RBIs. From that point, up and down, and of course the shoulder injury last year.
Oh, he just got under that.
High pop. Cabrera was looking for help, and now he makes the catch. He kept looking at Jeter like maybe Jeter was going to make that play. Cody Ross didn't miss that one. 4-3.
And it really, kind of molded my character, and he was amazing. I mean, he went about it the absolute perfect way.
Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Many of you probably just joining us after a busy Father's Day, maybe Father's Day dinner out. The Marlins and the Yankees matched up in another good one with the Fish on top 4-3. 7th inning, bullpen time. Raniel Pinto fires a fastball that misses against the switch-hitting outfielder Melky Cabrera.
And Cody able to present a Father's Day gift to his dad with a go-ahead home run.
Pinto takes over for Chris Bolstad. Bolstad went 6, 5 hits, 3 runs. And of course, with that home run by Cody Ross, Bolstad could get the win if the Marlins bullpen can deliver as they did last night.
Pinto with an inning Friday night and was able to shut down the Yankees.
Pop up. Brett Carroll makes the catch. This was Friday night for Raniel Pinto.
Yeah, since his time in AAA New Orleans, rehabbing from some elbow tenderness. Used his fastball and changeup effectively. And so if you're Freddie Gonzalez, you map things out now and you say, okay, Pinto here in the 7th. You think about Leo Nunez in the 8th and Matt Lindstrom in the 9th.
Or a Dan Meyer if you need outs.
You could work that way, which is what Freddie did last night.
Marlins bullpen allowed just 3 earned runs. Last 20 and a third innings.
in this series. The bullpen, 7 1/3 innings now, 5 hits and no runs.
Brett Gardner. Good pitch. Pinto's fastball up and under. A jam shot. Brian Roberts and the Orioles are coming, and man, they're playing well right now, having swept the Phillies. It starts on Tuesday night, and it lasts through Thursday night. A Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday affair. Look at the Miami Herald for your 2 for Tuesday coupon, 1-877 Marlins.
Brian Roberts last night, home run and 4 RBIs, had a big 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 9th inning to help Baltimore beat Philadelphia in that game.
Hideki Matsui is pitch hitting, his 7th year as a Yankee. He played in that 2003 World Series with the Yankees and the Marlins. Pulls it on the ground. Cantu gobbles it up. Rangel Pinto 1-2-3 through the 7th. 4-3 fish. Everybody up.
And you know, was always there for me no matter what. Coached me for the tremendous amount from where I'm from, and I wouldn't be here today without him.
Father's Day's great. I mean, my dad has always been there for me. He's always been great. So for me to be able to, you know, have that one day a year to tell him how I feel and pay him back, it's always good.
Roy Firestone.
God bless America. All right, let's bring you up to speed. Here's our game summary.
All right, it started with a Chris Coghlan double on a hanging breaking ball from CC Sabathia. On the move, he scores on Wes Helms' base hit up the middle. Now the big news for the Yankees. CC Sabathia having to leave the game, and in the 3rd inning, the Yankees put together a rally with 2 out. An infield base hit by Jeter. Teixeira bounces one over the head of Jorge Cantu, with Jeter scoring, and then fisted into left field. Alex Rodriguez drives in 2. The Yankees at that point a 3-1 lead. Hanley Ramirez erased that with a 2-run shot off Brett Tomko. High game 3-3. That didn't last long. Cody Ross launches one. Marlins with a 4-3 lead now as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Freddy Gonzalez adjusting his lineup card because the Yankees have brought in another arm. After Sabathia left with tenderness in his left bicep, it has been Seves, Tomko, and now Koch.
Yeah, left-hander Phil Koch, you see the numbers on him. Opponent's batting just 190.
Tuesday night is our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction. We'll be out at Bud Beach. That's where Tommy and I will have our broadcast location. You can join us out there in right field. Tickets are just $50. That gets you a ticket into the game, and it gets you an all-you-can-eat buffet and a T-shirt, goodie bag, and you can sit with us. We'll put you on TV just like those folks. And it's $50. Now, to get your tickets, you need to get them by tomorrow so we can order the big buffet. So Marlins.com/fantasy or 1-877-MARLINS. Get your tickets tomorrow. Just $50.
We need to have that guest list so we know how many to plan for. That lets me and Rich know how much we can eat.
So tomorrow, log on. You can buy your tickets online or you can call and order them over the phone. Marlins will pinch hit here with Alejandro De Aza.
One of the reasons Joe Girardi brings a lefty in this inning, he knows you get to the top of the order with Coughlin, and he knows that more than likely a left-hander is going to pinch hit. All the guys on Freddie's bench lefties except for Bonifacio, switch hitter.
Koch misses down low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Yankees, this is a 9-game road trip, so to speak, with a big asterisk behind it, because it is a 9-game road trip. 3 here, 3 in Atlanta, and 3 back home against the Mets.
I beg to differ. I don't think this series here is a road trip for them.
That's a good point. And those last 3 games, obviously, they get to stay at home.
Joe Girardi staying in his own house. Many Yankee fans here. This is a home game.
Many who have probably booked flights to Atlanta. High pop. A-Rod makes the catch. Well, Leo Nunez is getting ready for the 8th. Remember last night he started the 8th, couldn't finish. Dan Meyer helped him out.
He did get that big double play ball from Jeter. And then Meyer came in, was able to strike out Johnny Damon.
We saw his buddy Ben Affleck in Boston. Here's Coughlin. And he takes outside.
David Robertson getting ready. This is where I think, and it's not to take anything away from Koch and Robertson and Seves and Tomko, but I think you and I were very much impressed with the Boston Red Sox bullpen and what they have down there.
Deep, talented. There was talk while we were there just from the Marlins players and coaching staff, one of the best bullpens they'd ever seen. Another big crowd here tonight, 35,827. Not including those varmints. Over 117,000 for the series.
It's been a fun weekend.
Even though there were many Yankee fans included, their money is good here anytime. In fact, it probably goes a lot further here than it does at the new Yankee Stadium. Ground ball, base hit. Coghlan has squared up all 4 of his at-bats. The double in the first, a deep fly ball out in the second, single fifth, single here seventh.
2 of his base hits off lefties also, and I think that's the thing that's been impressive to me. Came into the game hitting below 200 against lefties. He's a better hitter than that against left-handers. But again, it's an adjustment period. He's learning. New position in the batting order, and great swings this afternoon.
Posada's out to talk. It's a good combo here with Helms at the plate and Coghlan at first, though Coughlin's going to have to read the lefty's move.
Yeah, you wonder if the lefty's going to be out there. Joe Girardi coming, he's already made the move. He wants his right-hander to work to Helms and Hanley Ramirez.
So the Yankees make a change. Their 4th reliever comes in, Arboruni, called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck or van.
Has been dialed in. Baseball basics.
Well, dialed in is when a batter just sees everything well and has good swings, and certainly with his 3-hit day today, Chris Coghlan is dials in on a hanging breaking ball first time up. Is able to dial in right back up the middle in the 5th inning, and then against the tough left-hander Phil Koch stays dialed in and gets his 3rd base hit of the game.
David Robertson out of the pen. His ERA is nice. 16th appearance.
Nice, easy delivery. Throws in the mid-90s with a good curveball out of the University of Alabama.
Might be a little easier to steal against now if you're Coghlan. Helms is a veteran enough hitter that he might just take a shot at that right side as well, with Teixeira holding the runner.
Posada's had a good series. He threw out a couple of runners in the game last night. Threw out Hanley Ramirez, threw out Bonifacio.
One and 0. Helms cuts and misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Wes asking Tim Timmons, is that ball a strike?
Got a couple of Alabama boys here. Helms, who lives in Hoover, Alabama. You talked about Robertson, born in Birmingham. Went to the University of Alabama. That's a strike.
You can see the easy delivery that Robertson has. And sometimes when a pitcher has that easy delivery with good life on his fastball, he's a little sneaky.
Breaking ball in the dirt. You know, anytime you see a young player for the Yankees, it gets you to thinking about player development. The Yankees certainly built those 4 World Series teams on guys from their own system. Getting a prospect in the Yankee system to perform in New York, though, isn't the easiest of tricks.
Well, a lot of times it's a short leash. They're just not given a long time to develop.
He was leaning, and he's safe.
It's you better perform right now, or you'll go back to AAA. And I think over the years, and yes, Coghlan was leaning, the Marlins, because of their situation, have been able to have a little more patience in developing young players.
They're forced to.
Bottom line, if you're a young player coming up in the Marlins organization, you're going to get an opportunity. You might not get that opportunity with the Yankees.
I think that's the challenge for Brian Cashman and the Yankees, because as they develop those 4 World Series champions, their rivals, the Boston Red Sox, have won 2 World Series, and they've done it with guys that they've developed a good core of players. Robertson strikes out Helms. Kevin Youkilis, Dustin Pedroia.
The Yankees trying to develop a couple of young pitchers, Java Chamberlain, Phil Hughes. Work them in, bullpen, 1 starter.
Before the ballgame, the Marlins made an announcement, a roster move. Kiko Calero has some tenderness in his right shoulder, and so he's on the 15-day disabled list. And Tim Wood is back up. Wood has pitched very well at AAA out of the bullpen. There you go. Kiko Calero. Wood up from New Orleans, his second go-round with the Fish. Look at his numbers. 1-0 with a 1.19 ERA. And the Marlins are hopeful there's no structural damage with Calero.
Well, what a nice job Kiko was doing.
Coming. And Hanley takes a strike.
Yeah, a little respect there on a 2-0 curveball.
Hanley put one in the seats against Brett Tomko. As Tommy documented, Tomko had dominated the Marlins in his career, especially in this ballpark. But his 2 innings in relief yielded 2 home runs. Hanley's 2-run shot, Cody Ross with a solo shot. Cantu waits. 3-2. And that's going to send Coughlin on his way.
I got my vote for Hanley button on. A few more days to vote for the All-Stars. So plenty of time to get online.
With Coughlin moving, Hanley yanks it foul. July 2nd, Tommy, that's the deadline. So, all right. Marlins.com, click on the All-Star link and you can vote. And I think with another good start or two, Josh Johnson is going to be on that All-Star team.
Absolutely. I think the point you made was a good one. The fact that the manager of the National League All-Star team, who is certainly involved in the selection process of pitchers, knows Josh Johnson because that manager is Charlie Manuel. And right now, that's what things look like. Hope it looks a lot better on your screen.
Not on mine. The monitor up here in the booth today is having its issues.
I thought it was my glasses. No. All right, here's one of those spots again that we've seen Jorge Cantu come through with just that base hit, not trying to do too much, just to pick up a run. And this would be a huge insurance run if the Marlins are able to score here.
Cantu, a 1-for-3 day. Twice has hit the ball hard to the outfield. Knee-high strike. Coughlin and Hanley. Good breaking ball.
Yeah, he's seen a good fastball. He's seen the curveball. And each has been a good pitch. A little late break.
Cantu is on that one, drills it to left. Coughlin round third. Up with the ball, Cabrera. Here's the throw. He's in there. Ball gets away. Here comes Hanley. He's going to score.
There's one of those base hits by Jorge Cantu. Teammates call him Georgie. Georgie produced right there. And then the errant throw allowed the Marlins to get a second run. We talked about Melky Cabrera, center field, the first two games of this series. He has a pretty good arm. He comes up and fires thinking that he's going to get Coughlin coming to the plate. The strong throw, but it's way offline and skips by Posada and then ricochets around in the back, and Hanley's able to come in and score. That is huge.
Yankee fans a little glum right now at the bottom of the seventh. So an RBI single and an E7.
And Cantu all the way to third base.
And a 3-run lead, and here's Uggla. Baseball basics. Doesn't get more basic than this.
delivers when the game is on the line. Yeah, Cantu taking second on the throw and then third on the error by Cabrera.
One and one. You know, and the Marlin players have talked about facing a team like the Yankees with Jeter, A-Rod, Teixeira, Andy Pettitte the other night, and how the first time you see them, it's awe-inspiring because these are guys that were your idols, guys you grew up watching on television. Think about what it's like for someone like David Robertson, who arrives on the scene and is suddenly teammates with all these guys.
Absolutely. A lot of pressure on young players who come up with the Mets and with the Yankees on that stage.
He struck him out. Uggla looked at a fastball, but the Marlins cash in with two more. Jorge Cantu, another big hit. Freddie Gonzalez looking at his lineup card. Happy Father's Day to Freddie as well. Time for the Just for Men Stay in the Game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Marlin hold leaders Leo Nunez and Dan Meyer both getting holds yesterday. Just as Miller relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color.
And Freddie knows very well that no lead is safe. This is an explosive lineup, and this is an important inning because of who's coming to bat. It's the top of the order. So you get Jeter, Swisher, Teixeira, then A-Rod.
Yeah, important in this sense too, Tommy. If Nunez can get Jeter, Swisher, Teixeira, and A-Rod out, then in the ninth, Matt Lindstrom won't have to face them, at least to start the inning. But Joe Girardi has popped out, and I'm not sure what he's discussing. The Marlins brought Nunez in.
I believe a straight up change. There are no other changes.
umpires right now discussing. It has to do with the Marlins lineup card, I'm sure.
That's what they're all looking at.
There was not a double switch involved.
No, just a straight up change.
And that's not the card that the umpires have. The umpires actually have a sheet that has a couple of copies. When you present the lineups at home plate, you give one to the umpires, you give one to the other team. And Joe Girardi came out, and Girardi had, I'm sure, the Marlins lineup. And right now the umpires still conferring. Now here comes Freddie to find out what's up.
Well, now they're bringing Coughlin in as if there was a switch in that lineup that the card that the umpires have. Remember, De Aza pinch hit. The other night we saw Freddie make that change and keep De Aza in the game for defensive purposes and have the pitcher come in and hit in Coughlin's spot.
So the lineup cards that they're comparing are supposed to be identical. Those are the copies that we talked about. You keep one for yourself, umpires get one, visiting team gets one. Coughlin's been waved in from left field. Marlins have replaced him defensively throughout this season at times and left, but of course Brett Carroll's already in the game, and that's usually the natural move.
It looked like Freddie called for De Aza.
Yeah, if De Aza goes back out in left field,
it isn't all that bad.
No,
but somewhere along the line a mistake was made. It could have been De Aza not going out to his position, or neither being informed of the switch. So in fact De Aza now hitting in the 9th spot. That's where he pinch hit, and Nunez would go into the number 1 spot where Coughlin is.
So this is one of those where I'm sure after the game we'll sort it out. How does that affect play here? Is Girardi lobbying that Jeter should have the strike erased from his AB? Because the count's 0-1.
We can only wait and find out and see.
The umpires don't seem to be agreeing with Girardi. Nunez continues to throw and stay loose.
Well, that's the tough thing at this point. It keeps Nunez out there for a long time without throwing regular pitches. He is tossing a little bit, playing catch with Paulino just to stay loose.
So even though it looks like the Yankees caught something on the lineup card, it doesn't look like the result is pleasing Joe Girardi. Carlos Tosca and Freddie Gonzalez. They brought the rule book out. The rule book is such that even if you're an umpire and it's your daily life, you have to, I mean, we'll do it like on a plane ride, a long plane ride, just whip out the rule book just to freshen up on some of the rules. And you can get so confused reading it. You almost need to consult an attorney.
Yeah, and I actually have a book that's a little beyond the rule book. It's the umpire's manual. And it says procedures and interpretations. And I know you and I often have, okay, here's batter interference, and you read it and you go, okay, where's the lawyer? Need an attorney right now to help us decipher. And they may be having that same issue right now. The basic part of this whole situation, if in fact Freddie did not want to make the double switch, maybe he wanted to keep Coughlin in the lineup because of the way he's swinging the bat. But on the other hand, we have seen, as you pointed out, we have seen De Aza come in and play defense in the outfield.
Well, I think the important part of this equation is, as long as Leo Nunez stays in the game, things are okay for the Fish. But if in this double switch Nunez is involved somehow and he has to exit the game, that would be bad news for the Marlins.
And I don't think that's the case, because right now he's still out there, and it didn't look like that was Joe Girardi's plea either.
So what would you suspect that Girardi is pleading for?
Probably the count.
Instead of 0-1?
No pitch. The umpire's motion, when a move is made, they will look up to the official scorer, and they've made the motion of double switch. And now both Girardi and Freddie come out again. Freddie comes out to talk to Timmons, and Girardi's over on the third base line. But the motion was made like moving the arm like a double switch, which means De Aza stays in the game because he pinch hit, and Nunez comes in and hits in Coughlin's spot.
Well, Freddie has the ear of the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons, while Girardi confers with Mark Wegner, Rob Drake.
And this is a lot longer than a 30-second timeout. Let's see if we can see the motion by Timmons. He looks around. See? Double switch. Double switch.
Either that, or if he was making a P, that means the game is being played under protest.
And that's possible too. Now all of a sudden Hermita's coming in for De Aza. So things even get more confused.
Well, if this keeps up, the Marlins are going to run out of guys.
Well, mainly now I understand this part. A pitch was made without De Aza.
So De Aza cannot.
So he cannot come back in the game if that pitch holds up. If it holds up 0-1.
I wonder if Girardi is saying, well, what about Nunez? So Hermita ends up in left field. Freddie not too happy.
So basically the downside, if the game's being played under protest, that'll have to be looked into in the next week or so. The other downside is that Freddie loses a player because De Aza has to come out.
Rule 311 was revised to lessen the penalty for accidental illegal substitution to restriction to the dugout. When an illegal player is discovered by an umpire or either team, that player will be restricted to the dugout for the duration of the game. So De Aza has been restricted to the dugout. We assume that's the 0-1 pitch to Jeter.
And all that time for a lazy fly ball out to center field.
Well, good use of some spare time by Leo Nunez. Mark Wiley might be reminding everyone down there to stay on their toes. Dan Meyer in particular. Though if Nunez keeps throwing stuff like that, Meyer can sit down. Meyer last night came in and got that strikeout. That was of Johnny Damon in the 8th. That sent it to the 9th, sent it to Lindstrom. Swisher takes outside.
I don't know. I really can't think of a protest that has ever held up. And in this case, I don't see what effect it really will have.
Throw to first.
The protest. I don't see how it would change the score, men on base, nothing like that. It just changes a player that wasn't out there in the right spot.
Unless there's a different interpretation of the rule, and the double sweats also included Nunez. Either Girardi was lobbying for Nunez removal, or he wanted a clean count on Jeter.
To me, the amount of time that it took, it seemed that he was probably lobbying for Nunez to get out of the game, as opposed to just changing the count on Jeter.
Teixeira with 2 outs.
Because that's a lot more serious situation than an 0-1 count.
Nunez throwing free and easy at 96. Although, you know what? Let me amend that. There's nothing really easy about Nunez. Even though the ball does jump out of his hand, he kind of has that fall off the mound delivery. Line shot. Ugla is there. Teixeira. It took a while, but it was a 1-2-3 inning. Unless you protest. Give yourself a good name. Hope you've had a good time on Father's Day. Over 36,000 have arrived here to watch this one. It's been a good ball game. Marlins on top, looking for a little more insurance. Ronnie Paulino with Cody Ross and Brett Carroll to follow. Frank Fort, what's up?
All right, guys, just to kind of underline what you were talking about last inning with the bullpens, the Yankees in Boston. Before the Marlins went to Boston, Freddie Gonzalez called an American League manager that he knows and said, "What about the Red Sox bullpen?" And the manager told him, "The best you will see." So that kind of underlines what you guys were talking about last inning. Also, with the huge crowds this weekend, last night 46,000, largest regular season non-opening day crowd in Marlins history. It took Freddie Gonzalez 45 minutes to get out of the parking lot on his way home to Aventura. He said, "You know what? For the atmosphere, though, I'll take the extra 45 to get out of here." Guys?
All right, good stuff. Ronnie Paulino is 0 for 3. He got the start because CC Sabathia got the start for the Yankees, but Sabathia went just an inning and a third, left with tenderness in his left bicep.
That'll be something certainly to follow the next time Sabathia's turn comes up.
The count's 1-2. You know, looking back at that last inning in the point of contention with the double switch, either Alejandro De Aza was supposed to go out there and didn't go out there.
Yes.
And the game started without him, at which point the Yankees noticed. Or the line of communication between the Marlins dugout and the umpire and the Yankees dugout was fractured.
And so then, because De Aza was out there and a pitch had been thrown, he was out there illegally. That's why he had to come out and Hermida had to go out to left.
Jeter. He has made that play many times. Teixeira somehow stays on the bag.
I'd like to see how he stayed on just one more time. It is a play that he makes. He had a lot of time with Paulino, the runner. He's able to get this throw off, and his foot wasn't on the bag. I don't think it was on.
Here is Cody Ross. Would you say that that play by Jeter is his signature play?
It's a play that makes everyone think he's the best shortstop in the league, and we have chronicled, certainly would have him on my team, but he's not. It's a play that he's able to make because of his experience, and it is his signature play, no question about it. He makes up for maybe a lack of range and arm by getting to the ball and getting rid of it quickly that way. When we talked to the gentleman who authored the Baseball Fielding Bible, he talked about that. He plays a little more shallow than a lot of shortstops. But I think I'd take him on my team.
Yeah.
to be that consistent in postseason and regular season.
If you were in the ninth inning in a game you had to win, and you could choose a shortstop that had to handle the ball,
hit it to him. Derek Jeter. Also, anybody else beats it out, except for Ronnie Paulino.
That's true. The caveman does not run all that well. Robertson's fastball is fouled into the seats. Marlins Live following this game. We'll give you all the highlights, and we will try to get to the bottom of that double switch situation. There's Lindstrom in the pen, our Frank Fort, and Jeff Conine both working on it right now. Robertson strikes out Cody Ross. Johnny Damon talking about that ball off the bat of Jorge Cantu. It comes in bunches. For a while, I was pretty good out there, and then lately, I've been brutal.
Yeah, Johnny Damon's been around long enough that certainly a stand-up guy and a terrific player.
Brett Carroll 1 for 3, doubled in the second, lined out, popped out. Knoxville native, Middle Tennessee State. Dodgers and Angels tonight. That's the night game in baseball. This is the only other game that's still going on. Everything a final, and on a day where things have fallen right for the Fish. The Mets lose to Tampa Bay 10-6. The Phillies get swept by Baltimore 2-1.
And by the way, Rich, that next start, if everything's okay with CC Sabathia, would be next weekend, Friday or Saturday, against those Mets at Citi Field.
Braves lost 6-5. Boston beat them on a Nick Green walk-off shot. Impressive stuff from David Robertson. He punches out Brett Carroll. Matt Lindstrom comes in for the save for the win. Belonged to Leo Nunez. Lindstrom. This is the final pitch he threw, getting the double play ball to end the game. He comes in a clean situation here, a 3-run lead, and Alex Rodriguez leading off.
Yeah, he'd given up that leadoff single to Teixeira, got Posada to pop up, and then got that double play ball.
So it's Lindstrom against A-Rod. That's a strike, even though it popped out of the glove of Paulino. Alex had a big hit, a 2-run single in the third.
Ready, and there's his sister. She's enjoying it. You get ready as a hitter for that 98-mile-an-hour fastball and get a slider like that. You just cannot react.
One adjustment Lindstrom has made with that slider a couple weeks ago, he's changed his target. He was, when he was releasing the slider, looking and aiming for the catcher's glove, and what he was finding was the ball was ending up in the dirt. So now he's starting his slider aiming right at the left shoulder of the hitter.
Here comes the fastball in. 102.
One and two. Mark Wiley would rather have strikes than miles per hour.
Than 102, yeah. He'll take quality 96.
It's in, and it's 2-2. Rodriguez, Cano, Posada.
Is happy.
He never caught up to that fastball.
Bummer. Cano is 0 for 3.
Maybe they could get a flight up to Atlanta, Yankee fans, and invade Turner Field. A lot of seats available, I've been told.
Well, as you pointed out the other night, the cost of the seats at Turner Field.
This could be a great trip.
And the flight from here to there, still less than many of the seats at the new Yankee Stadium. The 1-0. Ground ball, Ugla surrounds it, picks it, and gets it.
You know, another thing, and I guess I'm crazy thinking this, but with the crowds we've had this weekend, yes, I know a lot of them have been Yankees fans, but some are baseball fans. And perhaps with the series that they've seen, 3 terrific games, maybe some of these people will come back and see the Marlins, their National League team, here in South Florida. Root for the Yankees. They're in the American League. Here's your National League team that's about to take 2 out of 3 from the New York Yankees.
Yeah, come back and root against the Mets.
Yeah, I like your thinking there, Rich.
Posada. That's foul. Well, it's a good day for the Fish. A good day to beat the Yankees with just about everybody else in the National League East stumbling. The Marlins could actually draw within 3 games of first place. Don't see that pitch too often. Lindstrom's kind of been a fastball slider guy. Every now and then the split. And Jackson's his changeup.
Chris Volstad still in line to pick up the win in this one.
Line drive, base hit. Yankees are still alive. Posada. Melky Cabrera comes up. Marlins Live. Niner will join Frank. Father's Day greetings from the Marlins. A preview of the Orioles series. And certainly highlights from this one, interviews from this one, and hopefully the rest of the story on the whole double switch. It's not been confirmed that the Yankees are playing the game under protest.
No, we have not heard that.
But from the sign that the umpires made, that's usually the protocol, is they just, with their finger in the air, outline a P. Ground ball up the middle. Dive, and it's by Ugla. Posada to third. That's going to bring the tying run to the plate.
And like I said, Freddie Gonzalez knows that there is no lead safe. Those singles, back-to-back singles by Posada and Melky Cabrera extend it and bring the tying run to the plate.
Brett Gardner, who has 2 home runs this year.
This is the guy you want to get. He does not have the home run power that the man on deck does, Johnny Damon. And Damon's going to pinch hit for the pitcher if it gets that far. So the guy you want to get is this guy right here.
Boy, if you ever want to ask somebody about anxiety, ask the sister of a big league closer. Because as Lindstrom's out there, certainly he feels some of the pressure, but he's concentrating on throwing strikes. Watching this must just be agony. In the gap to the wall. That's going to score 2, and Gardner is on his way to third. And the Yankees are within a run, and the tying run is 90 feet away. And here comes Johnny Damon. 2-run triple for Gardner.
Boy, a great swing by Gardner on a fastball right there. He stays on top of it. That's the kind of swings you want to see Bonifacio have. Short, quick, line drives, ground balls. Gets it in the gap, and with his speed, he gets to third base easily. And here we are. A 1-run game, and Johnny Damon's going to pinch hit.
Paulino and Lindstrom. Meyer is up. Are the Marlins buying time to bring him in to face Damon for the 2nd night in a row?
No. All this coming with 2 outs. The Yankees scored all their runs in the 3rd inning after 2 were out.
So here is Damon. The pressure on Paulino now as well. If Lindstrom were to snap off a slider that comes up short.
And we've seen occasionally that splitter come up a little short.
Blazing speed at third. Tying run. 2 outs. 9th inning.
And still good speed at the plate in Damon. So you have to be careful in the infield. You can't bobble anything.
Jeter on deck. Lindstrom. 2-0. High shot foul.
Just shows you as a hitter, when you know the fastball is coming, doesn't matter how hard it is. Even Johnny Damon that time got around on it and pulled it. So he's 2-0. He knows he's going to get the heat. He cheats a little bit, gets out front, and yanks that ball hard.
See if he gets another fastball. 2-1. Tried to throw the slider, and it slipped on him.
But, and you know right now, Damon knows he's going to see another fastball, because all of a sudden, Matt Lindstrom doesn't have that pitch. Doesn't feel confident with it.
Coming. Here comes Jeter. Here comes Wiley.
And Damon patient enough. A lot of hitters go after that 3-1 fastball because they're looking fastball. They got it. But Damon was patient enough knowing that that ball was up.
Ramiro Pena is going to pinch run for Damon. that brings up another bit of strategy here, because Pena is the go-ahead run.
And he may take off. We know that Matt Lindstrom takes a while to get to the plate. It's one thing to have the tying run at third, but it's another to allow the go-ahead run to get to scoring position.
Derek Jeter stands in.
All of this after Lindstrom retired A-Rod and Cano, first two hitters he faced.
Ground ball. Hanley has it. Ball game. Marlins win it. It wasn't easy, but Lindstrom shuts the door. The Yankees rally and fall a run short.
Wow. What a week.